Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXP, and today we have Ben Sharon, who is the CEO and co-founder of LumiShare. So thank you so very much, Ben, for doing this. And this is round number 2 on the Blockchain DXP podcast. And for our listeners, in the first episode, we talked about the history of LumiShare, the fabulous team behind LumiShare. But since then, a lot has changed, particularly in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space. Back then, there was no Bitcoin ETF. And now the price of Bitcoin is almost on the verge of touching the $100,000 mark once again. And since then, Ben, LumiShare has also changed quite a lot. And now it is redefining investment by tokenizing real world assets. And you guys are starting with sustainable renewable energy. So LumiShare has definitely evolved quite a lot since then. So I'm really excited to talk to you about this. And thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we start, just wanted to check how's your day been so far? Because we're doing this recording at 11 p.m. So Monday is often busy, isn't it?
Yeah, we are working hard, we want to achieve our goals, so we must work hard as much as possible and target to achieve it.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, I should say that, Ben, you were the first guy to actually tell everyone that BlackRock is getting into the Bitcoin game. And this was, well in the earlier stages. So I was speaking to a couple of my colleagues as well. So really informed so far as Bitcoin is concerned. Now, regarding geopolitical chaos right now, President Donald Trump is imposing a lot of tariffs, and probably rightly so as well. But there's a lot of chaos in the cryptocurrency world. Has that impacted the token of LumiShare by any chance, either in a positive or negative way?
Yeah, so, I believe that Trump administration are going to do an amazing job. I believe that they are going to make a huge shift in the crypto industry and in general in the financial markets. So yeah, definitely it affects LumiShare. And one of the main things that it affects LumiShare is that we shift our mind regarding the US market. Of course, we believe in the US market, but the idea of that, the regulation stuff there was unclear at all, and right now they are doing their best in target to make it more clearer. So yeah, I believe that we are going to get into the US market much sooner than we thought.
That is absolutely great. And I often tell people that, President Trump, not only does he want to make America great again, he wants to go out and make Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies great again as well. So really looking forward for, LumiShare in United States of America. Now on the website of LumiShare, I did see that LumiShare did actually win the most innovative blockchain ecosystem of the year. And this, I believe, was by the Entrepreneur magazine. So firstly, congratulations, Ben. But I wanted to find out is that what gave LumiShare competitive edge over others?
Yeah, so the main focus, as you mentioned before, is RWA tokenization. We saw that BCG and also BlackRock predicting that this market will reach about $16 trillion by 2030. So yeah, we're really excited about this, and we are doing our best in target to make the best product. We already launched the LumiPlace testnet for about 1 month and a half ago. Yeah, so it's really exciting times right now in the crypto.
Excellent. And I just had one question regarding the tokenomics, or should I say Luminomics, where it talks about, 4% goes to donation. Can you share this with the audience? Because I have seen quite a lot of projects. I haven't seen anything where the funds are given to donations, which is probably an interesting idea.
Yeah, so we have a plan for 25 years. As you mentioned, we allocated 4% of the total, the maximum token supply, only for donations. But we don't believe in just donate and, to make it happen. But we believe in the quote, don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish, and then he will have the ability to feed himself for the long time, for the long term. So we allocated 4%, and it will be split into 25 years. We are going to focus on education part, and we are going to develop more and more institutions and entities in Africa, also in poor countries around the globe, but not only in these continents. Also, we are going to help to some. No, it's not going to be focused only on crypto, but also on renewable energy. We'd like to collaborate with our partners and to develop some solar farms and some renewable energy for continents around the globe, like Africa, like, Eastern Europe, like the part of South America, and also other countries around the globe, to help them with their energy. you probably know that a lot of countries right now, even that we are on 2025, they don't have any access to electricity. The main thing that we are already got used to it. So we will develop and we will do our best in Target to make it happen. And the main focus will be on education and renewable energy development.
That is absolutely beautiful. And having corporate social responsibility is a great responsibility to have as well, isn't it? So definitely kudos for doing that. Now, I was going through your LinkedIn profile, or rather LumiShare's LinkedIn profile, and little over 2 weeks ago, Ben, I did see a roadmap where it talks about LumiShare's full 2025 roadmap, and it discusses laying the groundwork, strategic execution, and scaling up. And there are things which you definitely want to go and achieve by the end of 2025. So for our listeners, can you just walk through some of these roadmaps?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, we're going to focus on finalizing all the regulation stuff.
Yeah.
We are not going to challenge the SEC and other entities like that, as other companies in the crypto have done. We are working by the book, and that's why we are going to finalize all the regulation stuff, first of all in Europe. And then once we will complete in Europe, then we will go through the US market as well, once it will be clearer. So that's the main and most important thing at the beginning. And once we will achieve that, then we will launch our LumiPlace mainnet. We already signed MOUs with 3 solar farms around the globe, solar companies that will tokenize and fractionalize their assets using our platform LumiPlace once we will launch it. So we believe and hope that in about 3 to 4 months, we will... give me a second, sorry. My dog is...
That's a cute dog. Which breed is it, by the way?
Say hello.
Oh,
His
nice.
name is...
Very sweet. Yeah, very sweet.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we will launch the LumiPlace mainnet, and we'll start with tokenizing these 3 solar farms that we signed with from Europe and from Abu Dhabi, from the Middle East. And once we will achieve our goals, that including complete and make it sold out, complete all the sales for these solar farms, including the tokenization and the fractionalization via our platform, then we will go through the next chapter. The next chapter will be most probably real estate. But right now we are focusing, laser focus only on the renewable energy.
Yeah.
And only once we will achieve our KPIs with the renewable energy, we will go through the real estate. We already have a few developers that are showing interest in collaborating with LumiShare and LumiPlace. And in high level, that's the main focuses for 2025. Of course, we have in the middle to execute some marketing campaigns and some partnerships, etc.
Excellent. And in UAE, quite a lot of news that I'm seeing since the last month. A lot of RW that are connected to real estate is definitely taking place. So really interesting to see, which direction LumiShare would be heading towards. Now, regarding the things that you mentioned regarding the roadmap and external challenges, do you foresee any external factors that could kind of hinder the progress? Because since the last 2 weeks, DeepSeek, they definitely created quite a lot of chaos, isn't it? Or possibly any upcoming newer technology, something maybe like Neuralink by Elon Musk. Do you think that could sway away the momentum?
Yeah, AI is a super sexy subject right now. Everyone are talking about AI and what happened after DeepSeek launched their platform, and what exactly happened after that to the US market and NASDAQ. So actually we are combining a few features in our platform LumiPlace that will include AI technology in target to learn more about the users and to make the right content for them and the right investment for them more accessible. And as well as we have our, it's not exactly related to AI, but we have our data capturing technology that will be set up on each of the solar farm computers and will capture the data online, will make it accessible for both individual and institutional investors to see and to take educative decision based on real-time data. So it's a really exciting time right now with all the
Absolutely.
developments.
Yeah, and you guys have an absolutely fabulous team, and it is great that you're leading them. Now, let's talk about real world asset tokenization. Now, you recently published a 3-minute video explaining how it works, and you just mentioned earlier on as well that the RWA tokenization is expected to reach $16 trillion, and this is according to BCG. Now, can you explain to our listeners what RWA tokenization is and what is the benefits that it actually offers?
Yeah, of course. So RWA tokenization is like, I'm comparing it to the days of the internet, the beginning of the internet, because most of the people didn't really realize what happened with the first days of the internet. They call it a scam, as usual.
Yeah.
But the real world assets, you can see all the assets that we know right now, including the renewable energy, which we are focusing on. And as I mentioned before, also the real estate. And in our future plan, we are going to tokenize also agriculture and some precious metals like gold and silver and also diamonds. So it's a growing market. We believe that it's going to be it will be more accessible for people around the globe to invest in these real world assets. Let me give you an example. Okay, right now, if you want to invest in real world assets, specifically, let's say solar farms, you must have, I don't know, $2 or $3 million in target to invest in this type of businesses. But with our solution, we are going to fractionalize it. So even individual investors with only $1,000 will have the ability to invest and to receive their APY, the yield, the profit from the investment directly to their wallet by monthly period. And beyond that, it's a real turnkey because it's a comprehensive issuance services, including legal, marketing, the incredator and regulatory administrative. And also we are, I will tell you that, it's a worldwide investment reach. You don't need to focus only on one area. Right now, if you want to raise funds for I don't know, real estate or renewable energy, most of the time, unless I'm talking about Dubai, which is really extensive and you have people from all around the globe. But rather than that, it's really hard to raise funds from investors not internally in your country, not local in your country, from other countries around the globe. So it's opened this market for new levels, for high levels, and also it will help you to make liquidity more accessible. Price discovery, liquidity will promote price discovery and efficient follow-on capital raising. So it's a totally different story. And also
Absolutely.
affordability, because we are fractionalizing the assets, it will allow the investors to participate with similar capital contributes. So it's not going to be only institutional investors, but also individual investors, as I just mentioned.
And one of the reasons why there is so much of talk regarding tokenization is because Larry Fink, immediately after the Bitcoin ETF, he did actually go to CNBC and he talked about the benefits of tokenization. So, I definitely do think, you guys are definitely an early adopter in the space. Now, regarding tokenization, I do have a couple of tricky questions. Now, am I right in saying that because tokens are connected to the real world assets, and this is, let's say, whether it's renewable energy or real estate, one would have to do KYC and AML? So the question is, will it be working on permission blockchain or will it be working on open blockchain?
Yeah, so yes, of course, they will have to make KYC and AML. As I mentioned, we specifically would like to follow the instructions and to work by the book.
Yeah.
So by ourselves, we are going to focus at the beginning on BNB chain, but also we are going to make it a multi-chain on ERC20 in the Ethereum network and also on Polygon. And right now we are in negotiation about adding Solana as well. So I'm not sure that it will be only for specific blockchain, but also I believe that it will be possible on open blockchain as well.
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of regulators, and one of the questions I tend to ask them, which I believe they don't know the answer to that, is let's say if it is working on an open blockchain, Ben, and if someone, let's say the token holder, was to go ahead and sell that token to someone from a sanctioned country, what happens to that RW token? Is it still legitimate, or how does
No.
it work?
So yeah, for sure. First of all, after they will complete the KYC, the
Mhm.
system platform will filter them. Meaning that if you are we are connecting from a sanctioned country, as you mentioned, it will block your access immediately. You got my point. So it will only work for permissioned countries around the globe.
Okay.
Specifically about us, until we will complete all the regulation stuff in the US, we will not allow even to the US citizens to invest via our platform. At the beginning, we will focus only on Europe and the Middle East and some other countries in the East. But yeah, it's not going to be open for everyone at the beginning. It's step by step. You can't
Yeah.
afford yourself all the world at once.
Yeah, and I think right now everyone is behind MiCA regulations, isn't it? A lot
Yeah,
of the companies and projects are trying to be MiCA compliant. Now let's focus on LumiShare's focus on renewable energy. And one area of focus for LumiShare is renewable energy, as you mentioned. And you guys are investing in greener tomorrow as well. So can you tell our listeners more about this? And how is LumiShare making an impact in the renewable energy sector?
I believe that we are one of the pioneers in this industry. I'm not talking about the renewable energy in general, but we are doing something different because we are opening this market, which we believe that it's going to be the main source of energy to the world in the next future. And we want it to be like that because, the fuel, the oil and the gas, which is creating right now the electricity around the globe, the energy is not good for us. It's not good for Earth. It's making a lot of problems anyway. We know that the global weather is not so well, and we see a lot of things, including earthquakes, including, a lot of bad things to Earth. So we believe that the renewable energy, and especially what we are doing, is to open this market to new heights and to new people around the globe, which didn't have any access until now.
And regarding renewable energy in particular, are there any regulatory hurdles or challenges that LumiShare is experiencing, particularly when you talk about tokenizing renewable energy?
What do you mean? Can you elaborate?
Are there any legal requirement, or whether
No.
government or regulator, MiCA, for instance, are they asking for too much of information, which becomes extremely time consuming and a bit of a hurdle to go and take a step further?
As per my knowledge and experience, it's all about the tokenization itself. If you are talking about MiCA and the other regulators, as far as I know, they don't care about if you are going to tokenize the renewable energy or
Mhm.
it's going to be for real estate. As soon as it's real world assets, you must have the right licenses in target to make the tokenization in general and the security behind it.
Yeah.
So it's not relevant specifically only for the renewable energy in our case.
Well, one of the reasons I asked this, Ben, is because, Elon Musk, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, they are going live via X Spaces, and this is regarding Doge, that is the Department of Government Efficiency. And right now, there's a lot of drama going on regarding USAID. And one of the things what Elon Musk said is, they are focusing heavily on deregulation, and that could essentially save United States of America close to $1 trillion. And if
Wow.
that deregulation kicks in, it becomes easier for companies like LumiShare to maybe venture into US, and maybe MiCA might try to go out and implement something similar as well. Now, I do have another question, regarding renewable energy and RWA tokenization. What message do you have for high net worthy individuals or investors who are not yet into the blockchain space or cryptocurrency space? Because I'm talking to quite a lot of high net worthy individuals. They still don't understand what cryptocurrencies are, and they're still staying out of it. What message do you have for them?
I think that we are bridging the gap for them,
Mhm.
because we are connecting between the real world assets, which they are really familiar with the tokenization, the crypto.
Yeah.
So we are bridging the gap for them. It will be easier for them because most of the time, if you are going to talk to these guys, they will tell you it's nothing tangible behind it, the crypto. Everything is about speculations, nothing really tangible, something that you can feel and you can understand the business behind it. So as I mentioned, we are bridging the gap. We are giving them this opportunity. And actually, I spoke to some of them, some of the institutional and the high
Mhm.
network individuals. They are showing interest and they really like the idea and what we are doing here in LumiShare. And I believe and hope that we will be, as I mentioned before, one of the pioneers to bring them on to these markets.
Absolutely, definitely you're on the right step and definitely an early adopter in the space. And I'm also launching another project called as Bitcoin DXP, focusing purely on educating high net worthy individuals, politicians, and even lawyers. Now let's talk about partnership and industry engagement because I'm going to your Twitter account and every day there are quite a lot of partnerships. And recently you announced a partnership with Cluster Protocol. So can you tell our listeners more about these partnerships that you've recently announced?
Actually, before our meeting, a few hours ago, we just agreed, we just signed with Dune Protocol.
Okay.
They have a layer 2 solution, which is built only on renewable energy, and green energy. So we signed with them. We're going to execute it very soon. And I believe within the next few months, we will add beyond Ethereum and Solana, we will add them as a layer 2 option to Lumi token and also Lumi Place. And beyond that, we are working very hard to achieve more and more success with our partners around the globe, including renewable energy, but not only the renewable energy sector, but also with some other good based projects that community based, around the globe in the Web3 and in general, and also on the Web2. Because as I mentioned, we are seeing ourselves as a bridge between the Web2 to the Web3. So we are working very hard about these partnerships, including spreading the word, because these companies have very serious communities as well.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. We believe that we can contribute, and also they are contributing to us, not only for the exposure, but also to create a real value.
Mhm. And you recently announced a partnership with Tricon and even Vectors Global as well. And that was earlier today, right?
Yeah. A few with Tricon, I think we announced this about a few days ago. Yeah, we have many more actually to come. We have a lot of surprises. I will not share more than that, but stay tuned.
Well, what I'll do is, in the show notes below, I'll definitely go ahead and put all the Twitter ID so people can definitely be informed with what is going on. Now, let's talk about market positioning and expansion. Now, we briefly talked about this in our earlier chat as well, because right now, Ben, UAE is becoming a very highly competitive space for the blockchain projects. It is kind of like a red ocean. Now, how is LumiShare positioning itself to stand out from the competitors? It is great that there are so many companies in UAE, but what is it that is making LumiShare stand out?
UAE, I believe right now UAE is the hub of crypto, even though the Trump administration are one of their main targets are to make the US the main hub, the crypto hub of the world. But right now, honestly, the UAE is the crypto hub of the world. A lot of great businessmen and a lot of great, initiatives you can find there. And people want to work and they are working hard. They want to achieve their goals. So I really love the UAE. And yeah, I really like that. That's why we chose UAE as our headquarters. And I believe in the next future, we will also build a new office in the US. I believe in the
Excellent.
next months.
And in UAE right now, we have Russell Kmada, we have ADGM, we have Dubai Swara, quite a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is something which you touched base earlier on, and that is regarding education. And LumiShare Ben emphasizes free Web3 education through initiatives like LumiLearn. So, how important is it for community education for your overall strategy? And have you seen any tangible results or impact so far?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we really believe in the education. We saw from our researches that only about 5% of the world population adopted the crypto until now.
Mhm.
And we know that the people is here to stay and it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And more than the crypto, I told you, it's about bridging the gap from the Web
Yeah.
2 to the Web 3, but also the renewable energy is a very important part. And that's why we established our ambassadors program. And that's why we arranged a lot, I think more than 15 or 16 free educational events, online and offline. We made events in Africa. We made events in the Middle East, in Turkey. We made events wherever you can imagine to yourself, in Singapore, a lot of countries around the globe. We believe that the education is the key part of people getting and learning more about the crypto industry, renewable energy, and in general about the financial markets that growing and growing from day to day. I think that people must know more about it.
Yeah,
If you are not really educating yourself, you are just a gambler, especially in the crypto.
absolutely, 100%. I think education is still lacking in this space, and it's great that LumiShare is definitely taking steps. Now, as a founder, Ben, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you have faced in building LumiShare, and what lessons have you learned regarding them?
Honestly, I learned a lot of lessons from LumiShare. Since we launched the project about 3 years ago, we faced a lot of things, a lot of challenges also. I can share with you that my partner, Ofer, is fighting against cancer for the last year, unfortunately. And more than that, you probably know that the war in the Middle East wasn't the best thing for us. And also we faced a lot of challenges with even the team members and some other partnerships, but we are here to stay. We are never giving up. We are always learning from the mistakes and from the challenges, and we are doing our best to be transparent as much as possible. And any person that will tell you that he knows everything is lying, or
Yeah,
is just, sorry for my language, but a stupid person.
true.
Because every day you can learn more and more about the world, about everything you are doing. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is never give up. If you believe in what you are doing, just keep going. That's
That
what
is
I believe.
absolutely beautiful. That is beautiful, not just in our workspace, but even in our personal life as well, isn't it? And I do wish, great things for your co-founder. And on similar lines, what advice do you have for blockchain entrepreneurs who are trying to build something or in a similar situation like you?
Yeah. Again, keep going. Draft your plan, draft your vision on a paper. Take a piece of paper, write it down, whatever you want, what you see in your imagination,
Yeah,
and every day try to improve it. Try to improve it. Learn from your mistakes. Don't give up. You are going to face a lot of challenges, especially if your vision is big.
yeah.
So keep going. That's it.
That is definitely sound advice. Now, we are nearly towards the end, Ben. Now, artificial intelligence has definitely taken the world by storm. So, what I've done is, I put all the questions in ChatGPT 4.0, the paid version. I put your LinkedIn profile, I put LumiShare, and I asked it to ask a philosophical question. So, let me do one thing. Let me read out a question that AI has for you. And this is not a question by me, and I'm really curious to know what your answer is. So, the question is, Ben, with AI transforming industries from finance to healthcare, do you think it eventually changes how we as human beings trust each other or even shape friendship, relationship, and value in society? And what is it that we can do to go ahead and keep our human values intact?
Good question. It's all about how we will consider that, how we will act accordingly, because we can leverage the AI technology for our own benefit. It can, maybe some people are saying, yeah, it's going to kill our job. We are not going to work in this job anymore because the AI is going to do it. But in my opinion, no one can replace the human being. From day to day, from year to year, the world is developing and changing in crazy steps. So I believe that it's all about our mind,
Yeah,
how we will work with the AI. I hope from the other end, I believe that the AI can be, if it will be in the wrong hands, it can be very challenging. Let's say
dangerous
like
as well. Yeah,
that. But hopefully, if we will act, if the world will act as it should be, will make the right regulation, I believe that it can be a huge benefit, and it can grow the technology and our knowledge in exponentially. It can be crazy for us. It can be, let's say, if right now, if we will compare it to the last 10 years of development, the technology development,
mhm,
if we will use it right, it can grow the technology, develop the technology in 10x rather than
yeah.
we get the last 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And I'm having a debate series, and the debate series is, does blockchain need artificial intelligence, or does artificial intelligence need blockchain technology? What is your say regarding that?
Nice question. I think both. It's a win-win situation for both technologies. I think that the AI and the technology should work together, and I'm sure that it what will happen together because the AI can contribute with the machine learning
Yeah,
to develop a better blockchain and to develop a better space in the blockchain, and the same thing for the AI. If we will use the AI with blockchain technology, it can be even more transparent. So maybe it can be a good idea
that is
for the.
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I really, really am liking this answer. I think we are almost towards the end, Ben. And finally, how can listeners stay updated with LumiShare's latest development or even get involved with your project?
Yeah, of course. First of all, you feel free to reach out to our website. Our
Mhm.
website is lumishare.io. And also feel free to follow us on social media and join our Telegram group. Feel free to ask any type of question that you may have, and our team will be more than happy to answer to all of your questions. And let's do it. Let's do it. Just imagine to yourself what could be if you can hold a piece of the sun.
Yep, that is definitely interesting idea, isn't it?
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thanks so much, Ben, for doing this. Really, really appreciate it. And I definitely do think, you're building the future and redefining investment and definitely learning something from you as well. So thank you so much for doing this, Ben.
Thank you,
Thanks,
George.
guys.
It
Have
was
a nice one.
a pleasure. Thank you.